City.
Actually, that's spot on.
It is spot on.
All the competition that try to compete.
Everything is spot on.
Yo, what's up? This is a new episode of Sports On Loc. I am your host, Jermaine. Got my boy Trey in the building with me, as always. Lock gang, you know what I'm saying?
It's trying to get retwisted, but I'm getting there. I got the fade on the side and the haircut. Here's what it is.
Need to get mine braided up, man. Shout out to all our Locks brothers and sisters out there.
Go strong.
Let's jump into our episode. All right, let's talk. Today we're going to talk to y'all about NBA. You know, the season just ended like last week, and we're going to re-kick it off this week. We got the preseason games taking off. I love it too, man. Just sports all around. Yeah, we need this every year. You know, without the corona, sports all around. But as y'all know, NBA just kicked off. We're gonna break down the Eastern Conference for y'all this year. Let's start from the bottom, man. Last year, finishing off in last was the Atlanta Hawks in the East, man. What you think about that? I mean, not even Atlanta Hawks. It was the Cleveland Cavaliers. Atlanta Hawks was 14. But Cleveland Cavaliers, they finished off last in the East. What you think of Cleveland this year, man? Think they're going to do some improvement?
No, they're going to be last again.
They're going to be last again? You don't think, what about Colin Sexton, man? Young bull.
Man, I like young bull. He's a scoring guard. He can't pass. I like, what's the other young point guard they got? Dang. What's the dude
point guard?
They drafted him. They drafted him a year after they drafted Young Bull. Dang, what's the young kid name? I forget. He went to Vanderbilt. I can't remember. But they got two young point guards. Then they got Kevin Porter Jr. I like him.
Oh, you talking about Darius Garland?
Yeah, I knew they had another young point guard. I like him. But you know, you got all that youth on it. You got all that youth on your team, then you're gonna get ran, bro. They got old Kevin Love. They need to trade Kevin Love. That's their problem, bro. Trade him for some picks, man. Get something for him.
They really can because they got Drummond. They don't really need Kevin Love, and they picked up JaVale McGee on the bench.
Man, that JaVale McGee trade was trying to hit my boy LeBron now, but that's on the West podcast. I like the rookie they got, Okoro. Because they don't play defense, and they lack wings, and he's a good wing from Auburn. He played good 2 years ago before he hurt himself. I like him. I just think they just need to keep being bad and just keep allocating assets. They need more young players. I like Kevin Porter. Just play the young kids. Trade Kevin Love. Nobody wants Drummond, so you're gonna have to eat that. He had a half court three tonight. I saw that. That was wild.
Man. But I like Drummond, man. Drummond, man, he can be a 2010 guy.
Man,
bro, he ain't gonna do nothing away from the bucket, but by the bucket, man, he get them putbacks, he get them rebounds all day. And when I mean by 2010, I should say a 10-20, not 2010. 10-20. 10 points, 20 rebounds.
Bro, this ain't 20. This ain't a 2000, bro. We don't need centers like that no more. He gotta be able to stretch the court. I don't believe Andre Drummond can stretch the court. Yeah. So he gotta go. I wouldn't keep him. Well, nobody wants him.
So we looking for them to have another rebuilding year. They're gonna be a high lottery pick again the next offseason. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, bro. This draft is stacked. I would think it's a short season. If I was them, I would tank. They're a pretender. Yeah. They shouldn't try to win. Just lose.
All right. Well, another team who might want to consider that, the Atlanta Hawks. They finished in 14th place last year, ending their season at 20-47. Got young Ice Trey, I should say. I ain't gonna say hot take Trey. That's Ice Trey, you know, Ice Game Trey, Ice Water Trey. They picked up Rondo in the offseason, man. How you like that pickup? You think Rondo gonna bring some leadership, veteranship to their team?
I think the Hawks make the playoffs with 10 teams making the playoffs this year. I think they're gonna fight for that 7, 8, 9, 10 range. Because I think the ownership told the GM and the coach that like y'all gotta make the playoffs. We tired of being sorry. They got one probably the top 5 exciting young players in the game, and Trae Young, and he ain't gonna want to stay there if they don't keep being sorry. They went out and got Bogdanovich from Sacramento. They signed Gallinari. They signed Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn, he's not good on offense, but he's a very elite defender. With Trae Young being
Tony Snell too.
They got Tony Snell. They got Rondo. with Trae Young, probably I listened to the radio this morning. He is they ranked like all the defensive player. For the last 2 years, he's been ranked the worst defensive player in the league both years. So they need we like Trae Young on the offensive end, but they need Chris Dunn to hide that. And I think they can make the playoffs, man. With Cam Reddish coming up, they got John Collins, they got Kevin Huerter, they got DeAndre Hunter. They got young players that can learn from the Gallinaris and Bogdanoviches, and they might not play good defense, but they're gonna be able to outscore you. And I feel like they'll finish. They're not a contender to contend to win a championship, but I feel like they'll make the playoffs. I think Trae Young will take the next step because they have to, or they probably get fired. The GM and head coach got to get fired.
I agree with you, man. I think Trae Young we're gonna see him take another leap this year, and potentially become a household name, like a superstar, kind of like how Donovan Mitchell and a couple of other recent stars have become. But I want to see more of Trae Young do some high pick and rolls with Clint Capella, like how Capella did with James Harden when he was in Houston, because I feel like he can be a key factor for them, man. Capella was doing the thing with Harden. When they were doing the pick and roll thing, that was him at his best. I've never seen Capella been as effective, it's at least offensively putting points on the board. So I feel like if you're not really getting him involved that kind of way in the game, then he's really not as useful. And I think if you put somebody like Trae Young do a lot of pick and rolls, pick and pop all day. I mean, that's ice Trae. So, I mean, I really want to see them do a lot of more screens and stuff for Trae. But I do like what the Hawks did this offseason. I think they're going to make it.
Yeah, Capella had a double-double last night. And I would like to see Atlanta use Trae how Golden State used Steph. Like, run him off, get him off the ball more.
Yeah, all screen guard picks.
Yeah, like back screens, running off screens, catch and shoot. Like, Trae Young always had to have the ball in his hand. I know last year a lot of the young players felt like he was a ball hog because he always had the ball in his hand. Which last year I probably wouldn't take the ball in his hand anyway because they wasn't good. But this year they have the talent, and I think they'll make the playoffs.
All right. Let's move to our next team. We got the Detroit Pistons. They've been in the news recently, My boy D'Angelo, man.
He got cut. He didn't even play neither one of the preseason games. They just cut that fool.
I don't know. We don't know what happened.
LeVar called him raggedy. He said, I gave him a gift. He called him a raggedy franchise.
But hey, man, let's hope the best for D'Angelo. I hope he get another opportunity out there. But the Detroit Pistons, man, what you think about the Pistons? I didn't see too many big moves in the offseason, too many big splashes. I think they're probably gonna be one of the worst teams this upcoming season. I'm sorry for Blake Griffin, but he's probably about to hang it up.
They down there. No, he don't need to hang it. He need to get out of there. He need to be traded. Like Detroit needs to do right by the. Hey man, I don't care, bro. I'll take Blake Griffin on the Rockets. Like Blake Griffin, and I'm not saying the superstar centerpiece, but Blake Griffin is your third or fourth option, bro. He can still dribble. He can shoot. He always been a good passing big man, bro. Like, come on, dog. Blake Griffin got enough talent to help a team win. I'm not saying like if the third or fourth option, I would take Blake Griffin on my team. He need to get out of Detroit. I like Killian Hayes. I like the draft pick they have. He always goes left, but just give them the keys and let them run. They're gonna be bad. They'll be down there with Cleveland, and ain't nothing to talk about. They cut my boy D'Angelo. Get Derrick Rose out.
He gonna hunt them all season.
Get Derrick Rose out of there too, man. I need Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin off that team, man.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I knew they were gonna be bad when they gave Grant $60 million. Come on, dog. They gave that fool $60 million.
Was scratching the head with that one.
Yeah. Hey, but they do got that one. They had a young kid. He got Sekou. His last name is really weird, but he like 20 years old, dog. He like 6'10", wing, can shoot, can dribble, can defend. If I was Detroit, they need to tank. They need to trade Blake Griffin. They need to trade Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose, and they need to let the young kids play and try to get Cade Cunningham or Evan Mobley or Jalen Green. There's no point in trying to win.
They can use a Cade Cunningham for sure, man.
Yeah, that's what they need to do.
All right, but let's go over to the Knicks. The Knicks finished in 12th place last season. They finished the season 21-45. Knicks. RJ, your boy RJ. He going into what?
I like RJ. Second year. I like RJ Barrett. I feel like RJ Barrett, like everybody will compare him to John Morant and Zion. I feel like both of them players were put in better situations than he was put in. You got John Morant was in Memphis, where Memphis is a sneaky, great young organization. I like Memphis. That's one of my teams. They're a good organization. They do everything the right way. And you got Zion who went to the Pelicans. That Anthony Davis trade just set them up perfectly. And you got RJ, he in New York. Like they haven't been good since Patrick Ewing. I like the Obi Toppin pick. At the time, he's an older rookie. I think he can be instant for them. He can give them production. They don't have a point guard. That's the problem with me. Like they have no point guard, and I feel like they put too much on RJ Barrett's plate. He's a scorer, bro. Like so, let him do what he do. He don't need to initiate offense and like try to set everybody up. He's a scorer. And then you got Thibodeau. You know, Thibodeau don't play young players. That's the only thing that I'm scared about for RJ. Thibodeau usually don't play young players. But Thibodeau did help develop Derrick Rose. I think they need a tank. They need one more year of being bad. I know New York Knicks fans don't want to say that, but me personally, I know that they don't have the best of luck when it comes to the lottery. But this year, the draft is to me like 5, 6, 7 players deep. So long as you finish in the top 7 players, you can get somebody to contribute. I want them to get the number 1 pick because right now it's the Cade Cunningham Bowl, dog. Whoever get a number 1 pick, you get a 6'8" point guard. And the Knicks need that. They need a point guard. I don't think they're good enough to make the playoffs. So they need a tank. What you think?
I like the Knicks, honestly. I don't think they should tank. I think they can actually get in with one of those playing spots. I don't think they're going to make any noise in the playoffs. But I like the fact that they picked up Austin Rivers, and I like who else they picked up? I think it was a big man.
They picked Nerlens Noel.
Nerlens Noel.
They got Alex Burke.
Oh yeah. No, I really like Kevin Knox. That's the player I really like the most on their team. I feel like he's like a hidden gem. I feel
he disappointed me last year.
Last year?
He didn't take the next step to me. Like he had a good rookie. He had a good okay rookie season. He didn't take the next step to what he should. I feel like he should have took.
Right, but I think he's not in the right system. To be honest, I feel like they need a point guard, like you said. They got Alpha Payton, but he not drawing enough attention from the defense. He need like somebody like Kevin Knox. I feel like he can get his own bucket, but he's a good shooter too.
Yeah, but they got a lot of young pieces. They like I said, if they had like we both agree, if they had a point guard. I feel like it would make the team better because Dennis Smith Jr. ain't it. He ain't. It looked like the Mavericks were right. Were trading him really early and just giving the keys to Luka. So, yeah.
Let's talk about next team finishing off. And what place was this?
The Bulls.
Yeah, the Bulls was next. Bulls finished off in 11th place at 22-43. Who the Bulls draft?
They drafted the dude from Florida State, Patrick Williams, the wing.
Oh yeah, man! I'm not gonna lie. When I seen that draft, I had no idea who this kid was. I was shocked.
Hey, Florida State quality has been putting out some good NBA players. Man, you got Jonathan Isaac down in Orlando, and you got they got Patrick Williams drafted. They got the dude Devin Vassell got drafted by the Spurs. Dwayne Bacon, they put him in the league. He down there in Orlando too. So they've been as quiet as it kept. They've been putting some players in the NBA, man. I don't know if I would have took him number 4, but I was watching an interview with him, and he said one thing about the Florida State system is they play 11 players, and they are defensive-minded team. So a lot of the players will never get to show what they really can do because they play so many players. I feel like he said him and his teammate Vassell got drafted by the Spurs. He said we got something in our bag. We're gonna show the league. If they can do that, they needed a wing. They need a young wing because they got Otto Porter, but he old. He a spot up shooter now. To me, they got Zach LaVine. He one of the best young scorers in the league. You know who my one of my sneaky picks for most improved player?
Kobe White.
Yeah, Kobe White, bro. Kobe White gonna be
My boy.
hey, North Carolina kid, dog. You know I'm a North Carolina fan. My favorite college team, dog. Kobe White. He was a bucket in North Carolina. He was a bucket his rookie season, especially the last month of the season. He finished the season strong before the lockdown. And I feel like he could be the most improved player, bro. Like he gonna turn a lot of heads this year. I like Kobe White, but I feel like they got enough offensive talent with marketing and Wendell Carter. They got enough offensive talent. They can push for that 10 seed.
Devon Dotson from Kansas.
So yeah, to me they got enough talent. They can push for that 10 seed playing spot. I feel like they can fight for that. They ain't gonna be up top, but they can fight for that 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, I think they can sneak in there as well. It's gonna be a much improved. They finished 11 last season. Number 10. Let's get to number 10. This one exciting, man. Charlotte Hornets. Everybody talking about Charlotte Hornets. My boy LaMelo Ball, man. He had his first point scored tonight in the preseason. It's all over the internet, man. The league is eating up LaMelo, man. They just loving it. They about to make him the new Luka, if you ask me. But how you feeling about the Hornets, man? I'm really excited about them.
Hey, the Hornets my East team, man. I adopted them as my East team until LaMelo Ball is gone. So long as LaMelo Ball there, that's my Eastern team. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Well, they need to trade Terry Rozier. Trade him. Get him off the team. Hand the keys over to LaMelo. I'm sorry. You drafted him number 3. He should not be coming off the bench. Give him the ball and let him go. He's going to turn the ball over. He's going to take bad shots, but you're going to get what you got the last 2 preseason games. You're going to get the beautiful passes. I feel like he has, as a set jump shot, his jump shot's not broken when it's a set shot. When it's catch and shoot, it's not broken. He does that funky leg kick off the dribble. They signed Gordon Hayward. I personally want to give him $120 million over 4 years, but they did. And they're trying under Michael Jordan. I would have liked them to tank one more season, but Michael Jordan, we saw on his documentary, he don't like tanking. He want to make the playoffs, and that's why he gave Gordon Hayward the money. So I feel like they would be a contender for one of the 2 play-in games. I feel like Gordon Hayward, when he played and he was healthy last year, he was a good player for Boston. I feel like Gordon Hayward can average 20 to 22 points a game. I like P.J. Washington. I like what he brings. He had a nice rookie season. I like Miles Bridges off the bench. I feel like Malik Monk had a good end of the season last year before he got busted with his suspension. I just feel like what they need to do is just somehow LaMelo Ball should not be coming off the bench. He just give him the ball and play him 32 to 37 minutes a game. Let him make his mistakes. Let him do it. Yeah, that's just my opinion.
Man, I agree. I can say I agree. Just because LaMelo, you coming from another pro league from over in Australia. It's not the NBA, but it's a pro league. And the more he's on the court, the better he's going to get, the more comfortable he's going to become. And we all know that the Hornets want him to be their franchise star. We all know that. I'm with you on that Gordon Hayward thing, man. I don't know what they was thinking giving that man that contract. They need a big man desperately. They can use somebody like Blake Griffin on their team. They can definitely use somebody like Blake Griffin.
They don't need they can use, but they don't need more big contracts. I know.
They don't need a big contract, but they need a big man because right now they're thinning on the big. They got Cody Zeller. They have, like you said, P.J. Washington, which I'm a huge fan of P.J. Washington myself, but he's still young. Cody Zeller, you got Bismack Biyombo, who's getting old. They got another rookie they just picked up from Duke, Vernon Carey Jr. He might pan out to be good. Him and P.J. Washington be good together, but they're still young, man. They need a big vet.
If they wouldn't have paid, if Michael Jordan wasn't that owner, they would be tanking. Because they wouldn't have paid Gordon Hayward. This would have been like, if they could have got that center from USC, Evan Mobley, he would have fit perfect at the center position. He's 7 foot. He can shoot. He can dribble. He can rebound, play defense. He would have fit perfectly with LaMelo. But I feel like they're going to contend for the play-in game. They'll finish in that 8, 9, 10 range.
All right, let's get into the Washington Wizards, man. Y'all know that it's made a big trade about a month, 2 ago. Russell Wilson, welcome to DC.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook, welcome to DC. And they went ahead and shipped out John Wall to the Houston Rockets. So they got some new faces out there in Washington. I start this one off first. Personally, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, man. Shockingly, I think they're gonna be all right, but I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs.
You
I don't
think they
think
can finish top 10?
they can make the play-in, but I don't see them making no noise in the playoffs. I don't see them being a top 6 team in the East. Let's say that they may make the playoffs. I don't see them being a top 6 team. I think Russ is gonna kind of break up the team, because Russ just so demanding, man. Russ gotta have a ball. That's the most important thing. Like he holds the ball too much, man. He gives you what he can give you. He's a great player. I don't want to take nothing away from Russell Westbrook. I'm a huge fan. He's a triple-double machine, a walking triple-double, but I feel like it just takes too much from the other players. I feel like if Russ can be more deferring in Washington than he was in Houston, meaning if he can look to pass first instead of trying to score all the time, because he did that in OKC. I feel like he was more of a passer than he was once he got to Houston. I feel like once he got to Houston, he was pretty much in competition with James Harden, like who's going to get the most buckets. He was just doing pull-up, mid-range shots all day, jumpers all day. Wasn't really attacking the basket like we used to seeing him in OKC. Like he just kind of changed. So I feel like we get that same Russ in Washington, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I want to see Russ kind of go back to what he used to do, attacking that basket, getting people, on their heels, then trying to do the pull-up jumper instead of walking up in front of somebody and trying to do the pull-up jumper. I don't like that. To me, that wasn't his game. But again, I don't see Washington being a top 6 team in the East. I just feel like they don't have enough between just Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook, and a lot of young supporting cast.
I think they'll be content for the play-in game. I feel like Russ gonna try to go back to OKC Russ the year that he had Paul George to him, and it'll be kind of like he gonna try to set up Bradley Beal. I feel like Scotty Brooks there, so he know how to coach him because he was there with him and KD. I feel like that they're young around them, so I don't feel like they will be like I said, top 16, but they'll be very exciting to watch, and we're gonna watch Washington Wizards basketball now because Russell Westbrook's there. And that's my opinion on them. They'll be a playing game team. Let's get to these good teams, man. Come on, let's get to these good teams. All right,
man. Let's roll on it. We about to get into the playoff teams.
We don't got to talk about Orlando. They're playing.
Orlando? Are they a contender or a pretender?
No,
you think
we can skip
they
this.
They gonna regress?
They got Markelle Fultz. I'm not worried about them. They ain't gonna be about nothing.
I agree with you. They ain't make no moves in the offseason. I want to see Aaron Gordon get out of there. See, that's another big who needs to go somewhere. Somebody like New York, somebody like Chicago, they can use him. The Hornets, oh my God. Can you imagine the Hornets on the Hornets having
Live City East? Hey, it'd be like Peter Blake.
It'll be crazy. But let's talk about, Brooklyn Nets. That's a hot team. KD and Kyrie.
Yeah, KD. You see that boy?
We were talking about Kyrie last week, man. We were talking about Kyrie last week, talking about, how he kind of stirs up the locker room and stuff. So what you think? You think Kyrie will he bring potential chemistry and locker room problems to Brooklyn? Like, will Brooklyn be able to succeed the way we want to see them succeed? Like the way we see them on paper, will we be able to see them on the court? Or do you think that they're going to have these issues like kind of how Boston did and stuff like that? Like, what you think,
man? It seemed like KD and Kyrie get along. They like each other. So they was on like a little fake Instagram live. They were talking to each other. They was vibing. And it seemed like KD's like the Kyrie whisperer. He could probably kind of keep him on the hand. So as long as, I don't know, as long as they like each other, they'll be good. It seemed like Kyrie likes him. He didn't like LeBron. He didn't like the young Tatum combination in Boston. So it's saying he actually likes KD. I mean, KD looked nice, man. His first bucket was a dunk. Kyrie looked nice too, man. And Steve Nash, it seemed like Kyrie came not but help respect Steve Nash, 2-time MVP, man. He could play point guard better than you can play point guard. distributed and set a team up wide. And I like Brooklyn, man. I feel like they're gonna be one of the top 4 teams in the East. They might can make it to the second round. The top of the East is heavy, dog. So they have the potential to make the East Conference Finals. KD come back big. All he got to do is like 90%, not even 90, 85% KD, man.
They're going to be top 3. I see them top 3 for sure. I would be
surprised.
KD,
I would be surprised if he
the top 3 alone by himself. Even if Kyrie,
God forbid,
if Kyrie was gone for some reason, and they say, "Oh, Kyrie's not going to make it for the rest of the season," they're still going to be up there. They have Kevin Durant. And look at the team they had last year. They still have a good supporting cast. You got Jarrett Allen. You got Spencer Dinwiddie. You got a lot of people who can make some buckets.
LeVert.
LeVert. That's what I'm saying. What's the other guy named Joe
Harris. The dude gave $7,000 too.
What? Hey, that boy deserved it because he be hitting them shots. You know what I'm saying? They got a supporting cast. They have a really, really good team. I don't think it's just KD and Kyrie now. I feel like they actually once the season comes along and we get down to playoffs and stuff, you're gonna start hearing a lot of people talking about the Brooklyn Nets have so much depth. We're gonna hear it. Just wait for it. You heard it. We're gonna hear it. But let's talk about the 76ers. 76ers been going through some news lately. People been speculating whether James Harden gonna pop up around the building or not. What you think about the 76ers, man? I don't think I'm gonna see anything different from the 76ers that we've been seeing the last 3 to 4 years.
You tripping, dog? They got
Doc Rivers finna come up in there and cook it up, and they finna get it going, huh?
Doc Rivers, dog. Last year, I don't know what else the brand was doing, trying to surround Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid with non-shooters. When they were good, is when they had shooters. Yeah, JJ, Jimmy, Tobias, they need shooters around them. They went out and got Seth Curry, one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA. Yeah, Danny Green. Hey, if they could get Toronto Raptors Danny Green, not LA Lakers Danny Green, because that boy was not good. You get Toronto Raptors and Spurs Danny Green. He plays defense. You got Thibault who can play defense. I like the Sixers, man. I kind of agree with Maury. I wouldn't necessarily trade Ben Simmons right now for James Harden. I would like to see what Doc can do with Ben and Joel before making a decision to get James Harden. I'm not saying Ben Simmons is better than James Harden, but I mean, dude, you have a top 20-ish player in the NBA, all NBA defender, and he's only 24 years old. He's scratching the surface of what he can do. I think I'm a big Ben Simmons fan. Me personally, as a Rockets fan, I am praying that they put him in the package. If they give me Ben Simmons,
it's not happening. They didn't already said it.
They say that, but once if they figure out that him and Joel don't mix, Maury he loved James Harden dirty draws. He's the reason why Houston culture is right now. He's the reason why Houston culture is the way it is right now. Because he let James Harden do whatever he wants. I love Philly. I think Philly can make the East Conference Finals if they can go. Joel Embiid can Doc Rivers can get him to stay in shape and do what he needs to do, and Ben Simmons takes the next step to a top 10 player in the NBA. The Sixers can make the finals. They can win a championship. They always had the potential and talent to win a championship. They can do it. Because Daryl Morey, he ain't gonna stop making moves. He gonna make moves. He ain't done making moves. I know I'm right.
I don't see the Sixers making the championship, man. The reason why, I can't see it with Ben being at the point. Like, Ben can be on the court and they can run the offense through Ben, but Ben don't need to be the ball controller. I can't see them winning the finals with Ben being the ball controller. I can't, just because to me, he has all these skills that you said, but I see him as like a slower version of a LeBron. You know, like what? Not as.
Have you seen Ben in open court, bro? Ben, bro, he ain't.
That's the open court. I'm talking about half court. Open court is totally different. Half court offense. I do not want Ben Simmons running my offense in the half court offense set. I don't.
With the year they had JJ and Jimmy. When they had shooters around them, a lineup with Ben and Joel outscored the opponent by 10 points a game. They were an elite team when they had shooters around them. When they don't have shooters around them, then that's what happened.
Cam went out.
I know it did. My bad.
Yeah.
When you don't have shooters around him like last year, then they ain't look as good. Trying to play Al Horford with two non-shooters on the court at the same time. So I just feel like that's what I feel, man. We could disagree on.
We gonna see it. We gonna see, man. I feel like they just don't have enough shooters. Danny Green and Steph Curry. I just don't feel like it's enough.
Yeah, Tobias Harris, dog. He can shoot. They got shooters now.
We gonna see.
Tobias Harris' best year in the NBA was with Doc Rivers as his coach.
Yeah, I know.
Am I lying?
I know. That's what got him that check. You right.
All right, yeah. So let's get it, man. They got it, man.
We gonna see. All right, Miami Heat, man. The Eastern Conference shocker champions. Eastern Conference defending champions, Miami Heat, man. What we expect for the Heat, man? You think they're gonna be in that top 3 this year? Like they're no longer underdogs. You know, last year they were quietly under the rug, played hard basketball all season. I mean, the Heat pretty much brought to the bubble what they did during the season. So I mean, I'm not even sure why people were super shocked because they were always a high energy team, a young team, fast break team, getting up and down the court, play pretty good defense. I mean, they didn't really do anything different in the bubble. They just consistent with who they are.
I think the Miami Heat could be a top 4 team. I don't think record matters to Miami. I don't think nobody in the East want to play them in the playoffs. I feel like that, but I also feel like they downgraded when they Jay Crowder was shooting like 45% last year open threes. It wasn't like no just 1 or 2 threes a game. He would shoot like 8 threes a game, catch and shoot. I like Mo Harkless. But he's scared to shoot. And I like the Avery Bradley pickup. The Heat gonna do what the Heat gonna do, man. He coach, they gonna do what they do. Tyler Hero gonna take the next step. He probably gonna start this year. You got Bam Adebayo got that check. That's who Bam is. I love Bam's game. I feel like he could be like the Jokic in Miami. He can initiate offense, and it really ain't nothing to say about Miami. They're gonna be there. They're gonna be there at the end. I would not want to play them if I wanted the top 4 teams in NBA. I would not want to play Miami because they're not scared of nobody and they ain't backing down.
Miami quietly, they're kind of like they're starting to become the new Spurs, if you ask me.
Yeah, they are. They Spurs East.
Let's talk about the Indiana Pacers. They finished 4th in the East.
They
you know what I'm talking about? Pacers going to regress. They're not going to make that 4th.
No,
they don't make that 4th seed, man.
They got too much turmoil up there in Indiana, man. Victor Oladipo wanted to get traded, wanted to check. He on contract year. He played bad last year. I don't like the Miles Turner, Sabonis fit. I just don't. They're gonna fall off, man. They don't want.
They got a lot of guards, man.
They the one team that was in it last year that ain't gonna be in it this year. They got rid of my boy Nate McMillan too. Yeah, they fired a black coach. All he did was win in Indiana.
Yeah, Nate was a pretty good coach. Man, I'm really interested about Cassius Stanley from Duke. He's the rookie at the Pacers.
He can just jump. No.
Man, if Oakland Depot want to leave, they're gonna use him. He gonna fill in that spot. You know, they still got Malcolm Brogdon.
I don't like no Dookies. I don't like Duke players. I got a rule with North Carolina fan. My rule as a North Carolina fan, I only can like one Duke player, and the one Duke player I like in the NBA right now play for the Boston Celtics who finished 3rd in the East. Jason Tatum, that boy right there, they gonna be a top 4 team in the East.
Well, I'm about to say, speaking of the Celtics, that was the number 3 team in the East. You said they're gonna finish top 4. I agree with you with that. They picked up Jeff Teague, man. How you like that?
A good backup point guard because Kemba, his knee's still bothering from last year. So he probably going to be out to like January, February. I like the Tristan Thompson pickup because when they played Miami, the Dice, he's good. He's good, but Bam was bullying him, throwing him all over the court. I think Tristan Thompson, and I know a lot of people talk about him. I think he's soft. But one thing about Tristan, he don't back down from nobody. He like that person, like he gonna fight with you. He might not start to fight, but he gonna be there to fight when it's time to fight. And I feel like he gonna step up to Bam. I think Tatum takes the next step, man. The top 5 player in the NBA, man. That's the only step he got to take, man. To me, he's already a top borderline 10 player in the league, man. ain't too many players I would take over Jason Tatum in the league right now. And for them to take the next step, man, he has to take the step to top 5. Because with Gordon Hayward gone, that's almost a 20-point game scorer gone. And you got Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do their job. And I think Tatum got to take that next step. I feel like this may be the year they finally get over the Eastern Conference hump and make the finals, man.
Say that, man. Boston. I was just gonna say that Boston is probably my favorite this year.
That's the only thing left for them to do.
They added that depth. They added the depth. I really, really like the Jeff Teague thing, and they have a lot of good young youth on their team. They got Carson Edwards from out of Purdue. He's a good two-way guard. Then you got Tremont Edwards from LSU. He's a good young guard. They picked up last year Grant Williams from Tennessee. He's great. You know, they still got Taco Fall. We don't know what he's gonna be, but he bring the energy. He bring the energy. If Taco can put on some pounds, man, you already know. We're going to call him Taco Supreme on the court. But, Kemba Walker, he was cooking last year. I think the chemistry is just going to get better for Kemba and Jason Tatum. And like you mentioned, adding Tristan Thompson was major for them because, like you said, in the playoffs, they were getting bullied down low. And they really, really need that inside defensive presence. But let's talk about the last final 2 teams. We had the Toronto Raptors and the Milwaukee Bucks. They finished the top of the East. Both of them respectively. What you expect out of Toronto this upcoming season?
Toronto, they're a good team. I don't feel like they'll finish second this year, but they ain't gonna be an easy out. Like, I just feel like they lost a lot of depth in the front court, losing Serge and Marc Gasol. I know Marc Gasol in Memphis, Marc Gasol, but he's still a good big man. He can pass, he can move the offense around. And Serge was a good big man off the bench for them last year. Kyle Lowry, they got winners, but they got Kyle Lowry, Van Fleet, Siakam. I think OJ Anunoby is the key to that team. If he can take another step in development in his game, then they can really compete and stay in the top 4. If he don't, I feel like they'll make the playoffs. Like they're gonna be a top 6 seed. It just depends on if they're. I think they're gonna go as OG goes. If OG can take that next step and become a good player, he looked good against the Hornets. Their 2 preseason games. But I respect Toronto and the Bucks, man. This is my thing on the Bucks. I don't care what they do in the regular season. Like I really don't. I do not care. They can. It
don't matter no more. It don't matter.
They can finish the best record in the NBA. I do not care. What I care about is 2 things: is Giannis going to sign that max extension on December 21st? The super max, not the max, the super max. And is Giannis' game developed enough for them to get over the hump? Because, you've been the best team in the NBA last 2 years and you didn't do nothing. I like the Drew Holiday pickup. It's Drew Holiday, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think Drew Holiday solved their problems that they have in the playoffs. Right. Drew Holiday, their problem is when it comes to the playoffs, they don't have any other person who can get a bucket besides Giannis. I like Chris Middleton. Yeah, I like Chris Middleton. He's catch and shoot though. I don't know Drew Holiday. Like you Pelican fans, so you've been watching them a long time. When I watch the Pelicans, I don't see Drew Holiday as give me the ball, I'm gonna get a bucket. I see him as a great defender and a complimentary scorer. And what they need is that if they would have got Bogdanovic, even though he played in Sacramento, he was a bucket getter. Like he gets buckets. I don't like their bench. DJ Augustine ain't gonna be able to play in the playoffs. They lost to Wesley Matthews. But like I said, it's no excuses, man. Like if Giannis is the top, if he's the 2-time MVP, he has to win a championship. And I don't care what they do in the regular season. I really don't. I really don't care. It ain't really nothing to say, man. You can't get punked by Miami. You 2-time MVP. You can't run for the defensive assignments and Jimmy Butler. I feel like if in the regular season, they're probably gonna finish as the best team record-wise. In the playoffs, I wouldn't. They know how to win playoffs. They don't win regular season games. In the playoffs, I don't think they're gonna beat Boston. I don't think they can beat Miami. I don't think they can, as of now. I don't think they're gonna beat Philly. I don't think they can beat Brooklyn. In the playoffs, I'll have them as the 5th best team. But in the regular season, they're gonna win games. They're probably gonna finish the top 1 or 2 seed.
I think last year was the last we're gonna see of Milwaukee. Now that Kevin Durant is in the East. Unfortunately, I don't think Giannis is going to dominate the way he's been dominating. And I agree with you. I think the pieces that they lost are going to be more significant than the pieces that they gained. Like you said, Mitchell, Wesley, Matthews. I don't think Drew Holiday is gonna solve their problems because he's not a shooter. That's why they don't have enough shooters. Giannis demands the ball. We all know Giannis is going towards the basket. They tried to pick up shooters last year by bringing in like Kyle Korver, other guys who just spot up and shoot. They had Bledsoe. They had him spotting up, shooting a lot. Of course, they got Chris Middleton, but it's not enough. I think like Giannis needs another aggressive player, like you said, like as you would say, a bucket getter.
They need buckets.
He needs somebody else who can do the job one-on-one, man. Just because it can't always be Giannis. If Giannis was able to score off the ball, and somebody else had the attention on them, it'll make it a lot easier for them. But when all the attention is on Giannis, when the playoff comes, it's easier to shrink the court. Force him to shoot, and when he don't want to shoot, force him to take a tough shot. It was easy. We seen what Miami did, but I don't think the Bucks are going to be as good as we've seen them the last 2 seasons. I think they may come in 4th. I don't see them being higher than 3 and during the season.
I'm gonna tell you why I think they're gonna finish top 2 because one thing Giannis is probably the best superstar at. He's the best superstar giving maximum effort every night. In the regular season, that matters. He's gonna give maximum effort every night, and not all these teams in the East can stop him. So I feel like they'll finish 1 and 2. But the burning 2 questions I got for you to close this out: who is in the Eastern Conference Finals, and who's gonna win the East? Who's the 2 teams?
My Eastern Conference Finals would be the Nets versus the Celtics. I want to say the Nets win. They got Kevin Durant, man. They got Kevin Durant. If they didn't have Kevin Durant, everything in me want to say the Celtics because I really, really love that depth. But again, the Nets have really, really good depth too. And they have 2 superstars. I mean, the Celtics got Tatum and Kemba, but Tatum and Kemba is not Kyrie and KD. So I have to say the Nets.
All right. I'm gonna preface. I got scenarios. If Philly don't trade for Harden, I got Philly versus Boston, and Philly winning the East.
That's if Philly don't trade for Harden?
If they don't trade for Harden. If they do trade for Harden, I got a rematch of last year of Miami and Boston. And I got Boston winning the East.
So no Brooklyn.
Nope. I don't got Brooklyn because as good as Kyrie and KD is, I don't feel like they'll be able to stop somebody. They don't play defense. They ain't going to play defense. I don't feel like Levert don't play defense. Kyrie don't play defense. We don't know how well KD going to be able to move off the Achilles. I don't feel like they'll be able to stop. I don't feel like they'll be able to score people, but I don't feel like they'll be able to get enough stops to win games in the playoffs. I feel like I got Boston, Miami, and Philly are the 3 teams. And if Philly don't trade, if they keep what they got, I think Philly wins the East.
Philly ain't finishing top 3.
Man,
with or without James Harden.
All right, you sleep. Philly gonna win the East, man. This is my last year riding that Philly hype. If they don't get it done this year, we're gonna have a show next year talking about they got to get rid of either Ben or Joel.
We already talked about that. Right, they were supposed to get rid of. They need to get rid of Joel, unless they're gonna bring in a smaller guard to play with him. But we'll wait and see, man. We'll wait and see. We'll say that for another episode. There you guys have it. This is Sports On Loc. I am Jermaine. My boy Trey, I appreciate you being here with me. every week. Y'all know where we at with it. It's a Spot On Sports, the new wave of sports, where we're not just acting, but spot on. And we out.